Welcome in, you guys. Hello, everyone. We are going to be continuing with acuplacer math. So it's a little bit of algebra, a little bit of geometry, a little bit of everything. Hope everybody's having a good Tuesday, staying warm here in the Midwest or wherever you're from. Thank you for the double taps. Thank you, you guys. All right. So let's look at 19. There are 5 people in an elevator. Together, they weigh 792.4 pounds. Can we find the average weight? And here they gave us what average means. It means total over the number of people. And remember, we are not allowed to use a calculator. So put your answers in the chat. Are you getting A, B, C, or D? So our total is going to be 792.4, and then the number of people we have is 5. So here, if I'm going to use my answer choices to help me, right? I know it all has to start with a 1 because there's 1 5 that fits into 7. So 1 times 5 is 5, and then we subtract. 7 minus 5 is 2. Drop down the 9. All right. Now we're asking ourselves, how many 5s can we fit into 29? Here we have a 5, a 6. Well, 5 times 6 is 30, so that's over. So here, A, we don't even have to finish it. Because 5 times 5 is 25. We'll subtract there. 9 minus 5 is 4. But this is the only one they gave us with the 5. So that's our answer. And we would move on. We wouldn't waste time trying to do the whole problem. Does that make sense, you guys? All right. Let's go to number 20. It says, write an equation for the line graphed. Thank you, Dara. Yes. Okay, beautiful. So here we have, are you guys getting A, B, C, or D for this equation? What do you guys get? Actually, we only have A, B, and C. Okay, T said B. Hey, T. Welcome back, T. Hello. T said B. I love it. Anybody else got anything? All right, so let's check it out. We know if we go from left to right, remember we always read graphs from left to right. Well, this is an increasing line. So if you start here, it increases. So C is absolutely out because that's a decreasing line. Now, if you know the difference between here, remember this is a horizontal line and it has to cross at 2. But it has to look like this. And since it's not a horizontal line going straight across and it's slanted, B is our answer. So great job, T. You did that. Beautiful. Thank you for the double taps, everyone. Thank you for the follows. I hope everybody's having a great day. All right. So this is A and C, you guys. Over here, I'm going to scoot it over, though, so we can see most of the graphs, okay? All right, so we're looking at these 4 graphs, and we're trying to see which one represents this equation. Put your answers in the chat. Are you getting, this is A, B, C, or D? What do you guys get? A, okay, it said A, Locke said A. Ooh, we kind of consistent on this one. A, okay. I see those A's pouring in. Okay, remember, they gave it to us in Y equals MX plus B, right? Remember, B is our y-intercept. It's where it hits the y-axis. So A, if we look at A, like you guys are saying, this is 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So we know it's a positive 3. This is also a positive 3. Since these are not positive 3s, B and D is totally out. We really had a 50-50 chance here. But when we look at our slope, since it's positive, we don't even have to know the slope. We just have to know if it's positive or negative, right? Because when we read it from left to right, this is an increasing line. Do you see how my pen is increasing here? Versus here, it's a decreasing line. As soon as I saw that, A has to be my answer because my slope here is positive. Any questions on that one? Oh, you're so welcome, Lolo. I'm glad you're here. Hopefully I can break it down where your brain is like, yes, I get this, okay? All right, I kind of skipped this one on accident, so let's go back up. It says, which of the sets of equations represents the two lines graphed? So let me go. So here goes the, you guys can't really see it. All right, so I'm going to let you guys see the graphs first. Okay, look at the graphs. All right, now I'm going to let you guys see the equation parts. Okay, so I know this one is kind of, right? It's like, oh, I can't even see the whole problem. Sick. All right, but let's just focus on this first equation here, okay? Our y is crossing at 2. So we know this is our b, okay? Our b has to be a plus 2. But look here, you guys. If we look at all our equations, they all have plus 2. That doesn't help us at all, right? But remember, if you start, remember you read from left to right. Well, what's happening with this line? Let me see it in the chat. Is this a negative or a positive line? This green one here, I'm going to highlight it. Tell me what's happening. Put it in the chat. Is it increasing or decreasing? What's happening? Positive, positive, positive. Perfect. So if we know that, if we know that this has to be a positive slope, C and D have to be out. Now we just gave ourselves a 50-50 chance. Okay, let's check out this other line. Now, on here, it's starting at -4. This is our B at -4, okay? When we look at these equations, doesn't help us. They both have -4. But what's happening with this line when we read it from left to right? Remember, that's the key. You have to read it from left to right. What's happening here? Put it in the chat. Is it increasing or decreasing? Good. It's B. I see those answers coming in. It's decreasing. Yes, you guys. So we don't even have to know how much is it decreasing by, right? We just have to know whether it's positive or negative. And since it's decreasing, like you guys said, B is our answer. Beautiful. All right. Seaball TV, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the double taps, you guys. Thank you, thank you. I see we're at 1.2K. It's 100 of us strong right now. Hey, AMT. Man, AMT, we are freezing out here in the Midwest. I'm telling you. The Cali girl in me is not used to these -degree weather, okay? I went out because I didn't have no milk, so I had to go out. You know, it's like, man, can I last one more day? But when you got like a baby, you just got to go, right? When I tell you that wind, that -degree wind, when it hits your face, whoo. You said it's cold in the UK as well? Oh, you know, when you're born in Cali, the coldest it gets is like 45, not even like 45. Ooh, I tell you, it's a whole nother level. Chris said D. Okay, D, you said D, Chris? Okay. Yes, at least this will understand the negative numbers. Exactly. All right, so let's look at 23. Which equation is graphed here? Now, this one is a little tricky, right? Can everybody put in, what is this B right here? What is this B? Put it in the chat. Okay, Chris said, oops, I can't see it all. I can't see the whole equation. Oh. 2. Good. Okay, 2. We know the B is 2. Now, they try to be sneaky here, right? Because they didn't write these first ones in the y equals mx plus b form. They put the b in front. But we know it has to be a positive 2, like you guys said here. So C is not even an option, and we can't even see D. So we're assuming that's out, okay? So 2. All right. Now, they both have the same slope, but one is positive, one is negative. Remember, we read from left to right. So what's happening with this line as we read from left to right? You guys got it. It is decreasing. This line is going down, 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 down. So B is our answer. Good, Kay. Beautiful. All right. We done made it to the systems of equations. Y'all see that? You guys see them systems? Okay. Let's look at number 24. So it says simplify 3 to the second times 3 to the 5 times 3 to the negative 3. Do you get A, B, C, or D? What's your answer? Thank you, love, for sharing the live. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Math Discovery. Math Discovery said B. Okay. Kay said B. At the exponents. Ivan, let's go. Ivan said, I'm going to help y'all. So he said, whenever we multiply, remember, 3 is the base, you guys. So when you have the same base, you add the exponents. So really, we could look at this as 2 plus 5 plus a negative 3. And if we keep on going, this is going to be 2 plus 5 is 7 minus 3. And that's how we get that beautiful answer, b to the 4th. 7 minus 3 is 4. Any questions on that one, you guys? Any questions? All right. Thank you, Loyalty, for the follow. Thank you, Audrey, for the gifts. All right, so systems. Let's talk about systems. Now, if you haven't had algebra class, or if you haven't made it to 8th grade, I believe, this will look new to you. But what I want to tell you is you're going to learn like different ways to solve them. You can solve them by graphing, you can solve them by substitution, or you can solve them by elimination. When I'm giving something like this, I'm going with elimination. And what that means is I'm going to choose a variable, either the X or the Y, to eliminate. But how I eliminate is I need them to have the same number with opposite signs. Yes, you say hi. So what do I have to multiply this top equation by if I want it to be this not, well, I wanted to cancel out the 2y. What do I have to multiply it by, you guys? Put it in the chat. 2. Good. Yes. 2. I have to multiply it by a positive 2. Because, see, it already has a negative for me. So now I'm just going to distribute this 2. But you have to distribute it to every single thing. So can somebody tell me what this... top equation is going to equal to? Okay. Armand said the answer is C. Okay. I see 4. XO. Okay. So if we distribute, remember distribute means we're multiplying. So 2 times 2 gives us 4x. 2 times -1 gets us -2y equals to, don't forget this side, 2 times 5 gives you 10. All right, now that we did that, we can just rewrite our bottom equation underneath. And what we're going to do is we're going to add down. So 4x plus 3x gives us 7x equal to, now remember these cancel. And then 10 plus 4 gives us 14. What's our last step? How do we get x by itself? Good, Carly. Alfonso said divide. Beautiful. Yes. We got to divide. Divide by 7. Mary said divide by 7. Beautiful. Yes. So we're going to divide by 7 and we get x equals 2. Now, we love it when they give multiple choice like this, right? Because there's only one. We're only looking at the x value. There's only one that they gave us where the x was 2. So this has to be our answer. We don't even have to finish it out to solve for the y because there's only one x that's 2. Any questions? Oh, XX, yes. These will put this, yes, this is like so important systems because they're really like, when people say, why do I need math? This is where you like really compare like rates. Like, should I go with T-Mobile or AT&T? Who has the better sale? Ooh, did you guys see the price of eggs right now? Let me tell you, I'm about to do a little video. I went to Myers and I have Aldi's out here. We have Aldi's and Myers. And it's like $4 and something. These are going on your YouTube after? Yes, they'll be going on my YouTube after. Eyes is 99. Oh man, 12 eggs, $9.99. No, I'm in Wisconsin. How much are eggs for you guys? Smith, I just Googled this. I literally just Googled this. And then it's like the 4th one down. It's called the PERT practice test. Number 2, do not use a calculator. So if you Google this, it will come up. Somebody said the cheapest eggs I saw was $7.99. And I'm leaving it right there. Exactly. Right? It's like, I got to get protein some other way. Okay? Washington, they had them going up to 20. Wow, $20? It's better to go get a chicken and just go get 2 chickens. It would probably be cheaper. Well, who can take care of 2 chickens, right? Like, for real. Like, I'm not no farmer for sure. $8? Wow, a dozen? That's crazy. And I'm complaining about my little $4 and something cents. I better be quiet. Man. All right. But I'm going to put a video out because I'm like, which one is cheaper? They try to trick you. Yeah, I'm gonna show the trickery in it. Because you know, back in the day, when you bought bulk, it seemed like you got the better deal, right? Nowadays, it's like the bulk is like more than you might as well go less because the bulk is so more expensive. Okay, 26. I'm off my tangent. State one of the factors of the quadratic equation. Ooh. So we have to state one of the factors. Okay. Remember when we started, we was going heavy with factoring. Okay, thank you. So we're going to do 2 parentheses. Our sign is plus and minus. What's our sign going to be for our parentheses? If we have a plus and a minus, put it in the chat. What do our signs have to be? AMT said B. You guys, AMT does wonderful math. If you're looking for all the way up to calculus, hit him up. He's fantastic. Hey, Simmer. I know I got stuck in the cold today, Simmer. Plus and minus. You guys are on it. Yes, plus and minus. So I came on a little late today. But I'm here. I said, should I go? Should I just wait? And I was like, let me just jump on, see who come on. So what times what gives us X? X times X. And then what times what gives us 12? What are we using here for what times what gives us 12? Put it in the chat. Yes, he did, AMT. Hey, Devil Man. 1 and 12. 6, 4 and 3. Tootsie. Okay, now, for the people that said 1 and 12, 2 and 6. You're not wrong, technically. Those are factors. But I want you to always look at your multiple choice, right? They gave us 3 and 4. And they gave us a 6 and 4. Well, 6 times 4 doesn't get us 12. So that would rule out the 2 and 6. Now, they gave us a whole bunch of 3 and 4s. So just make sure that you always look at your multiple choice to narrow down what your options can really be. So let's say this is 4 and 3. Okay. Now, I know some people are going to be like, wait. I thought you just said 3 and 4. Why you change it to 4 and 3? I did that because, remember, I need a positive number here. So when I do 4 minus 3, I get that positive 1. So that's why I know the 4 has to be positive and the 3 has to be negative. So one of the factors is B. Any questions on that one? Yep, lips is B. What about the square? Oh, the square, how we broke down the square, Slimmer, is X times X. And so whenever you do X times X, that's how you get the X squared. Nope, Devil Man, you right on time. We started a little late today, so you are right on time. We started at somewhere around 2. This is like Algebra 1. Yeah, I would say Algebra 1 level. All right, let's look at number 27. To find X squared. What do you mean, Ivan, to find X squared? All right. And now I'm learning geometry. I love it. Love it. What you guys working on in geometry right now? So what do we do with this negative, you guys? Put it in the chat. What am I doing with this negative? Turn to a positive. Okay. Distribute. Yes. Distribute it into the parenthesis. That's what we have to do with it. Whenever you have a negative in front of a parenthesis, you have to distribute this negative into everything in the parenthesis. So really, let me get my little pink paper because we do not have enough space. So really, we're looking at we're looking at this. Negative 3x squared. A negative times positive is a negative 10x. And then we're going to do 2x minus 10. We're just dropping this down. And then because this is a positive, we're just going to drop this down as well. Okay. And this right here is where most people would forget to, like, they usually get the first one, but they really forget this one and it throws off their whole entire answer. Now, let's look for some like terms. We have this 2x, negative 10x. We also have what? Negative 3x and a positive 3x. So let's drop this down. We have 2x to the third, only one of them. Boom. And then what happens to my x squared, you guys? Put it in the chat. What is happening with my x squareds? Alfonso said they cancel out. Beautiful. Yes, because 3 minus 3 goes away. So they cancel out. Perfect. Now we have, okay, we have this 2x and a negative 10x. So what do we get with the 2x and the negative 10x? What does that give us? Put it in the chat. When we combine 2x minus 10x. Beautiful. Okay, we on our integers today. Yes, negative 8x. And then we drop down that negative 10. So let's see what our answer, which one was our answer? A. A was our answer for that one. All right. Okay. What about 28? Okay, you got A. Now, how do most of you guys do this? Do you guys use the box way? Do you use foil way, distribute way? How do you guys use it? Oh, simmer next door. Good luck. Remember, if you don't know everything, it's okay. You just need to know what you need to know, right? If you don't waste time on stuff you don't know, just go hard with the stuff you do know. Foil. Okay, then let's do it. Let's do it that way. Okay, I'm gonna bring this back. All right, so we're gonna go here. So we get x times 2x squared is 2x to the third. If we go here, x times negative 3x gets us negative 3x squared. And then x times a positive 5 gets us 5x. Okay, here, 2 times 2 gets us a positive 4x squared. And then 2 times a negative 3 gets us a negative 6x. And then 2 times 5 gets us the plus 10. This is called vertical way, where you just add down. I don't know how many of you guys seen that, but you can line them up this way too. And just put a little addition. So the 2x cubed, I'm dropping down. What do I get when I combine these? Negative 3x plus 4. Yeah, this is so much different. Yes, this is called the vertical method. Negative 1x. Ooh, 7x. 1x squared. Yes. Remember, 4 minus 3 is a 1x squared. Now, I could put the 1 there, but they'll never put it like in the multiple choice. So just don't get handicapped on putting 1s there, okay? If it helps you, let it help you. But I mean, just train your eyes to see it there anyway, but invisible, if that makes sense. Okay. All right. 5x minus 6x. What are we putting here? -1, -x. Yes, there we go. Because this 6 is bigger, we take the sign of the bigger number and we subtract the numbers. So 6 minus 5 is just 1. And then we're going to drop down that plus 10. So, nope. And B is our answer. B has to be our answer. How did you get a positive? Because -3 is first, so it will be a -1. Yasmin, good question. So this is like, this is what this is saying. You owe somebody $3, right? But you're carrying $4 on you. So they say, hey, man, let me give about $3. You give them $3, how much are you going to have? Well, you're still going to have a positive one. You're in the positive $1. So 4 minus 3 is a positive 1. You have to take the sign of the bigger number when you're adding integers. Does that make sense? Oh, okay. Good. Great question. Any other questions on that one, you guys? Okay. All right. Let's go to number 29. So why does nothing... Oh, let me see. Oh, not real. You're welcome. Why does nothing happen with the X? Oh, that's Honey. Great question. Okay, let's talk about that, right? Because sometimes I'm changing this little degree up here. Sometimes I have to leave it alone, right? The only way that this degree can change is when I'm multiplying variables. Because when I multiply variables, I have to add their exponents. That's why when I do x times x to the second, see how this number in front is not changing, but really the number up on the power is changing because I have to add my exponents whenever I multiply the letters. But when I combine like terms, when I'm adding, right, when I'm combining like terms, these don't change because this is just saying I have this amount of them. I have -3x squareds and I have 4x squareds. So when I combine, how many x squareds do I have? Well, I'm only going to have one positive 1x squared left. So the only reason why the x's are changing is when you multiply them, never when you're adding them. Does that make sense? Oh, that's Honey. Okay, right. Good. Okay, perfect. Great question. Okay, beautiful. All right, good. Okay, we're doing some learning. Y'all asking some great questions. Good. Okay, let's do 29. What is the value of x when, -9, parenthesis x minus 5, close it up, equals x plus 22.5. This right here is like, some of us is like, why? Why, right? Why do we have to have this half? All right, so what we doing first? Put it in the chat. We're going to distribute, right? Here. Can somebody distribute this for us and tell me what I'm writing there? What am I writing there? Good. Worshiper of God, yes. -9x minus 13. Negative 9. Hey, Carol. Negative 9x plus 45. Plus 45. Okay. Negative 9x plus 45. And so many people do that. They look at this as addition for whatever reason. They multiply this. And then for some reason, our brains just want to switch to adding. But if you know that you do that commonly, you just have to stop and you have to say, okay, what am I doing here? I'm multiplying. So a negative times a negative is a positive, and then 9 times 5 is 45. You just have to slow your brain down because it just goes so fast. So you're like, I know what I'm doing, right? I'm like, boom, boom. But when you go so fast, sometimes our brain tricks us and adds instead of multiplying, okay? So just be aware of that. That happens a lot, okay? All right, we're here. What are we moving first? Let me see it in the chat. What are we moving? The X? Beautiful. Okay, let's do it. I saw the X first, so we're going to move the X first. Remember, this is a positive X. So I'm going to minus X. Let me bring it down here, you guys, where we have a little bit more space. Equals X plus 22 and a half. We're going to minus X to both sides. Okay. What am I writing right here when I combine this? Put it in the chat. Perfecto. Perfector. Yes. Negative 10x. Carol, negative 10x. Oh, that's honey. Yes. Somebody owes you $9. They say, let me get one more. They ain't owing me $8. They owing me $10. They borrowed $10 from me. Does that make sense? Then we're going to do plus 45 equals 22 and a half. All right, what am I doing next? What do I have to move now? Love it. Negative 45. Good. So negative 45. And this goes, okay. We have negative 10x equals 2. All right, this is where it gets a little bit, now, 45 is my bigger number. So I'm going to take the sign of my bigger number. I know it's going to be negative. And then I have to subtract these two numbers. Okay, we have to subtract them. So 45 minus 22. Let's just do that first. So 45 minus 22, 45, we're going to get, what is this? 3 and 2. Okay, but remember, I still have to subtract that half. So if I have $23 and I'm taking away 50 cents, how much do I have left? Put it in the chat. $23, I'm taking away 50 cents from that. I just spent 50 cents. Good. Worshiper of God said 22.5 all day, every day. Yes. See, when you make it like money, more people understand it, right? Because this is what we use every day. But looking at this as like 23 minus a half, that don't make no sense to me. But if I change this half, remember half is always 50 cents. It becomes very clear. So now we have 22. I'm going to put 0.5. Okay. Now, to get my X by itself, whenever a number is attached to a letter, they're multiplied together. To undo that multiplication, I have to divide by negative 10. And I get X equals, a negative divided by a negative is always a positive. What happens when I divide by 10? Does my decimal go this way to the right, or does it go to the left? Which way does it go? Put it in the chat, left or right. Perfector, yes, left, 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 left. Good, you guys. And it's going to go left one space because I only have 1 0. That's how I trained my mind. If I have more zeros, I count the zeros and that's how many I have to go left. So I'm going to move it once over, and this is going to be a positive 2.25. Now, some of y'all like, hold up. You got me here in this decimal. I don't see my answer as a decimal. How much is a quarter as a fraction? Okay. Jaquan said it's B. 1/4, 1/4. Yes, you guys. And I'm telling you, if you train your kids to understand half is 0.5, 1/4, right? Because we're dealing with quarters. So 25 is always 1/4. 75, 3/4, right? This is 75 cents. 2/3, this is 60.66%, right? 66. If you train those basic fractions and they can understand the decimal, like interchange them, you'll set their math career on a whole nother level. Like I'm telling you, like just start, hey, count these quarters out for me. Just make your kids practice math, money especially, and tie it in. You'll save them a lot of headache. All right. Okay, good. We did that. We're not going to do this one because I don't even know what the options were. So we're going to skip that. Okay. All right. We on and moving. So that was the last of that PERT exam. This is the TSI exam that we started but didn't get to finish. And this is the last of that. Okay. Then if we have time, we'll jump back into those rational and exponents. Okay, that's what we have coming up. For those, tonight, I'm going live on YouTube tonight at 7 o'clock for the first time ever on my YouTube page. I'm going to be doing ASVAB math. So if you know anybody that's struggling to pass the ASVAB, follow me over there at Impact Math. Okay, so at Impact Math 19. That's where I post all my lives over there anyway. But I'm going to go live over there tonight at 7 Central Time. Ooh, what is it? CST? Central Time, okay? So if you free tonight and you want to do some ASVAB math, join me over there, you guys. I appreciate it. Do you help with math for Illinois? Yes. I had to take the Praxis 1 and Praxis 2. Ooh, that Praxis 2 is a pain, huh? Are you doing are you doing the Praxis? You have to do Praxis 2? Are you doing a math teacher? Need you for the T's? Yes, I gotta do some more T's. If you need help, you guys, with those calculations or T's math or HESI, like if you need tutoring or if you need tutoring for math, just email me impactmath19@gmail.com. Okay. I got a few more spots open available. Okay. So hit me up. All right, let's do number 19, you guys. For all x, 3x minus 5 squared equals what? Okay. Well, let's look at this. AMT said he does tutoring as well. So if you know any like higher ed, any lower ed, he does it all, okay? All right. Ooh, VBH said 9x squared minus 30x. Okay. Which we see right here, plus 25. Let's check it out. So I'm going to, remember this squared means you have two of them. So we have 3x minus 5 times 3x minus 5. All right. Now let's do our little FOIL. 3x times 3x 3 times 3 gets us 9x to the second power. Remember, x times x is x to the second power. We're going to go here. Now, 3x, well, positive times a negative is a negative. 3 times 5 gets us 15. Don't forget that x. We're going to go in here. A negative times a positive is a negative. 5 times 3 gets us 15x. Now, a negative times a negative is always a positive. 5 times 5 gets us 25. Okay, we got some like terms. So as soon as we saw we had this, you guys, really, we could say that A, B, and C is out. Okay, so that's really going to leave us with D and E as an option. What do we get when we combine this? Oh, sorry, I was going so fast. Carol said negative 30x. Yeah, oh, yes. Now remember, we're not multiplying here. We are combining. So when we combine, it's saying somebody owes you $15. Then they said to you, let me get $15 more. Well, if you borrow 2 15s from me, that means you owe me $30, right? You owe me 30. So E is our answer. And we could drop down the plus 25 and the 9x squared. Any questions on that? Good, I'm glad you're getting it. When you add 2 negatives, okay, so let me see. I think somebody put a good comment in there. BBH said when you add 2 negatives, it goes up away from 0. Yes, it becomes more negative. Whenever you add 2 negatives, it gets a bigger negative. It's like you spending it's like you borrowing money and then you borrow some more money. Well, the more money you borrow, the bigger of your debt gets. But some people math do get funny when they be borrowing, right? It's like, wait, hold on. But when people borrow from you, you got it on the on the head, right? So that's why I always say, look at it, somebody borrowing money from you, because most people be like, oh yeah, no, I got that. But they math get a little funny when they think about borrowing from somebody else. Okay, you gonna write this down? I love it. Yeah, Ivan, I do algebra 2 as well. Perez, you feel me? You know what I'm talking about. You know that family member, right? Where the math get a little sketchy. All right, perfect. So let's go to number 20, you guys. Let's go to number 20. We have this A plus 3b to the second power. And then we have this negative 3b times this. All right. How many times do we have to write this? A plus 3b. How many times do we have to write it? Put it in the chat. Molly, do not give yourself a headache. Email me, please. I can get you right at impactmath19@gmail.com. Don't suffer this semester. You got too many helps. Tutoring, come on, let's get it done. Let's knock it out. But I'm glad you keep on trying. That's what happens. 2 times. Beautiful, you guys. I see those 2s coming in. Yes, it is like kills the soul when we fail a class. Sometimes it builds us up, right? You'll have that testimony. Hey, I still graduated. I still made it. It took me 4 times, but at the end, I still made it through. Come on. That's somebody's testimony. So A times A. Okay. A times A Remember, that gives us a to the second power. A times 3b. Now, we have to write them in alphabetical order. That's why when we do a times 3b, we write 3ab. Because it always goes in alphabetical order, okay? Then when we go here, 3b times a, 3b times a, we get 3ab. And then 3b times 3b, so I'm looking here and here, 3b times 3b gives me, well, 3 times 3 gives me the 9, and then b times b gets me b to the second power. Okay, now I still have to distribute this part here. Can you guys distribute this part for me in the chat? What do we get when we multiply this negative 3b times 2a plus 3b? What do we get? Put it in the chat. Negative 6ab. Good. Bree, hey Bree. Welcome back, hon. Okay, I see that first part. Where the second part at, y'all? T coming in with the negative 6ab plus BBH. Yes, minus 9b squared. Good. Negative 6ab. A negative times a positive is a negative. 3 times 3 is 9b squared. Beautiful. Okay. Now we got to look at some like terms, right? Okay, we got this plus 9b squared minus 9b squared. We have negative 6ab and both of these 3ab's. And then this lonely guy out here, a squared. So I'm going to drop down my a squared. Okay, I know I'm only going to have one a squared, so anything that doesn't have a 1a squared, like D, has to go. Okay. What happens to my ABs? What happens to my ABs? Good, Bree. Cancels out. They're gone. Yes. Because 3 plus 3 gives us 6. But when we minus 6, they go away. And then 9 minus 9 also goes away. And like Bree said, E is our answer. Perfect. Wow. Wow, easy. Okay, beautiful. Yes. Okay, let's do number 21. For x equals 2. All this stuff, right? Oh, thank you, Genesis. Rose said, oh, man, this one look hard, okay? Yes, this one looks a little crazy. But remember, whenever they give us a value for a letter, we're just, wherever we see that letter, that's the number that we're plugging in. So let's rewrite it. So we have a 2 square root. Now, whenever I have a number attached to a letter, remember they're multiplied together. So I have to show that 2 times 2 plus 3 square root. 8 times 2 plus 5 square root 3 times 2. All right. Now we can simplify a little bit. 2 times 2 is going to give us 4 plus 3 times 8 times 2 is 16 plus 5 square root 3 times 2 is 6. Okay. Do we know what the square root of 4 is? 2, 2, 2, 2. Beautiful. Yes. Because remember, we're looking for what times itself. It has to be a pair to come out. So 2 times 2 gives us 4. So that's why 2. And then we go times 2. Perfect. We got 3 here. Does anybody know the square root of 16? Think about a number times itself to get you 16. 4, 4, 4. Yes. Let's go. 4. Now, there is no number times itself to get you 6. So we're just going to leave that. 5 square root 6. So anything that doesn't have a 5 square root 6 at this point, for me, is gone. Because I can't combine this with this because they have to be like terms. This is like an X in my brain. So since these don't have no X's next to them, they gone. So that you can't combine them. So this is out, this is out, this is out. So now I just gave myself a 50-50 chance. Well, 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 3 times 4 is 12. 4 plus 12 gets me, if you saying C, that's your answer. Because 4 plus 12 gets me 16. And then I just have to keep adding it with that 5 square root 6. Good, Perez. Let's go. Yes. Great job, everybody. Can we take a second? Can we get to, we're at 7.2K likes. Can we get us to 10K? Can everybody double tap their screen for me? Hey, Alex. Thank you, Alex. Oh, thank you, Amira. So why didn't we square the 5.6? Somebody said, hold up, that made sense. Because there's no number times itself to get you. Remember, when we take the square root of a number, we're looking for pairs. There's no pairs here. Only 2 times 3 gets us 6. Since we have no pairs, we have to just leave it. Because there's nothing we can simplify out of there. Great question. Good, Bree. Good, yep. All right. Thank you, guys. I see those double taps coming in. We're at 9 point. We just made it to 10K. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you. We're at 13 roses. Thank you, everybody that gifted, that double tapped, that's commenting. This is why I jump on live, because of you guys. You guys make it fun for me. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's keep on going. Number 22. If x equals -2 and y equals 5, what is the value of the expression to 2x to the third minus 3xy? All right. So again, they gave us -2 for x. So wherever I see an x, that's what I'm plugging in. Here I have a 5. So I'm plugging in 1 5 for the y. All right. We have 2 times. Remember, we're timesing here because whenever a number is attached to a letter, that's multiplied. So we're going to put parentheses for the multiplication to the third minus 3 times x, which is -2, times a y, which is 5. All right, what do we have to do first? When we look at something like this, what do we have to do first? Oh, thank you for the rose. Thank you, thank you. Parentheses. Okay. Solve the exponents. Yes. Okay, let's talk about that. Because some people are like, no, you go parentheses first because of PEMDAS. Well, parentheses means like if I had 2 things in the parentheses that I had to take care of. But since these are single parentheses, this actually means just multiplication and not the grouping of parentheses. So that's why we have to do the exponents actually first here. Okay, that's why we have to do the exponents first. So I'm going to take out some of my pink paper. And let's go first. So remember, this is -2 times -2 times -2. Well, this gives me 4 times a -2 is going to get me -8. Okay, just doing this part here. Now I'm going to drop down everything else. I'm dropping down this outside 2 that was there. And then I'm going to drop down this stuff. -3 times -2 times 5. Okay. Now we can go with let's multiply. Because remember, we have to multiply before we do subtract. So 2 times a -8 gets us a -16. Okay. All right. A -3 times a -2. A negative times a negative is a positive. 3 times 2 gets me 6. And I'm going to times that 5. Drop down that times 5. All right. Multiply before addition. 6 times 5 gets me 30. I'm going to drop down this -16. Is my answer A, B, C, D, or E? Put it in the chat. What do we get here? A. Yes, let's go. Yes, we get A because 30 minus 16 is 14. Wonderful. Any questions on this? Thank you to all my double tappers. I see we're almost at 15K. Thank you. Can you still explain why? Okay, what do you need me to explain why? Explain like the parenthesis thing again? Is that what you're saying? Like why we did exponents here and not parentheses? -16 plus 30. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can explain that. Okay. So whenever you're adding positives and negatives, you take the sign of the bigger number. Okay. So we know our answer is going to have to be positive. And then you subtract the two numbers. So 30, another way you could look at this as 30 minus 16. Well, I can't take away 0 from 6, so I have to borrow a 10 here and make this a 2. So 10 minus 6 gets me 4. And then 2 minus 1 gets me 1. And that's how we get 14. Okay, good. Great question. Good. See, you wasn't the only one, so I'm glad you asked that. Yep. Chart, you got to send me like a picture of what you mean. Thank you, Halford, for the heart me. Don't forget, if you can, grab your heart me, join the team. Yes, thank you so much for the gift. All right, let's go to number 23. What are the solutions to the quadratic equation? This. Okay. Remember, this we did some factoring. Okay, so if we want solutions, I mean, we could just plug in everyone and see if it's right? That would take us kind of long because it gives us 5 options. Or we could solve this. Whenever we're solving quadratics, remember, we have to set it equal to 0. So we actually need this 48 to the other side. Now, remember, this is a positive 48. So I have to subtract 48 to both sides. These are not like terms. Don't combine these. You're just rewriting it as x squared minus 2x minus 48 equals to 0. Now, as soon as you get this, you can go straight to parentheses. I have negative. What's my signs going to be? Remember, we practiced this when we were factoring. What do your signs have to be always when you have double negative? Good. Okay. Fred said E, a positive and a negative. Positive and a negative. Yes, let's go. It has to be a positive and a negative. When you have double negatives, a positive and a negative. Okay. So what times what gets us x squared? X times x. Now, what times what gets us 48? Well, I'm not going to just be guessing all kind of numbers. I'm going to look at this multiple choice. And since they use 6 and 8 most of the times, I'm going to go with 6 and 8. Now, I got a 6 and I got an 8, right? But remember, I need a -2. So which number has to be the negative when I'm adding them to come up to a -2? The 6 or the 8? Put it in the chat. Which one has to be the negative? Good. Kay said A. Rose said A. Beautiful. DJ. Yes, let's go. Let's go. 8. The 8 has to be negative. And then the 6 has to be positive. Because when I do 6 minus 8, that gets me a -2, which I need here in the middle. Now, this is what most people forget. X plus 6 equals 0. And x minus 8 equals 0. How do I solve this? I always tell my students, -6 and 8. Lasagna said, I always tell my students, the first sign tells me my big number. Yes, I love it. -6, -6, add 8, like you guys said. Beautiful. And x equals -6, and x equals 8. So, do we see our answer? Don't get tricked up now. D is our answer, right? A -6 and a positive 8. Beautiful. All right. Yes. Okay, so easy. I love it. Yeah, see, it's like your eyes can play tricks on you, right? But remember, we had to add 8 to both sides. That's why it has to be a positive 8. Oh, Ceci said I do this in pre-algebra. Okay, love it. All right, now let's get to some dividing, right? Now, this for sure is algebra 2. This is an algebra 2. We just made it to algebra 2, you guys. Okay? So let's do it. Okay, so we want to factor this trinomial. Whenever our b is the only negative, what do our signs have to be? Put it in the chat. Remember, we talked about this last week. Oh, I love it. I am. Good luck on your tests and your classes. I hope you get that A or B plus if you would say, let me just get a B plus, okay? Positive, negative. Okay, let's go. Yes, both of them must be negative. When the B is the only negative, both parentheses must be negative. Then we have x times x, because we're getting the x squared. Now, what times what gets us 12? Okay, now, I'm not going to just be guessing off the top of my head. I'm going to be looking at my answer choices, right? What are they using in my answer choices? So what times what gives me 12? Put it in the chat. What are we using here? Good. Kay said 3 and 4, 4 and 3, 3 and 4. Let's go. Good. 3 and 4. Yeah, 2 and 6 does too. But you see how none of our answers had a 2 and a 6? So we're not going to use that. We're going to use what they Use your answers to help you always. All right. Does anybody remember how we factor this? What type of factoring is this called? Difference of squares unknown. Let's go. Yes, this is a difference of squares. So, difference of squares. Remember, our signs always has to be plus and minus. We're going to do x times x. And then what times itself? Remember, when you're doing a difference of squares, you're looking at what times itself. Gives you 9, 3, and 3. Okay. What we doing now? Thank you for the follow. What do we do now? Simplify. Good. What can I cross out? Okay. Kane said cancel the x minus 3. Beautiful. Both of them. Good. This is gone and this is gone. Because anything divided by itself goes to a 1. You got to remember that. Anything by itself. Whenever you divide something by itself, it goes to a 1. So we're left with x minus 4 over x plus 3. And D here is our answer. That's it. Oh, you guys couldn't see the answer. Let me scoot it over a little bit. Da, da, da. Oh, okay, Mojo. You go. What are you using the Are you using a book? What you using to prepare to clef it? Did they give you some like test, practice tests? Oh no, I just see the crying ears. So they ain't give you nothing. Okay, modern states. Okay. All right, I'm gonna be doing algebra up on here, so always come and join. You're always welcome. If you need tutoring, if anybody needs tutoring, like if you're like struggling and can't understand the concept, hit me up. Impact Math 19 at Gmail. Oh, let me put it gmail.com. Okay? Email me. All right, y'all. Yes, hit me up. Okay. Let's keep it going. Oh, you're so welcome, Alex. Love it, Mom. It's a mommy. Which is the complete factorization of 5y to the third minus 125y? All right. Now, when we talked about factoring, remember, we're supposed to technically always look for what's our first step always? Put it in the chat if you know this. When we factor, we're supposed to look for something always first. D. Okay, you getting D? Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you. Nah, not difference of squares. There you go. Yes, stay at home life. Let's go. Difference of the GCF. Step 1. Look for greatest common factor. Okay. So when I look for the greatest common factor, I'm looking for what can both go into 5 and 125. What can both go into those? Well, I'm going to look at my answers to help me. They all got a 5, most of them. So I'm going to say 5. All right. Now, when you look at your letters, you have to take the lowest one. So since I have 1y, it's going to be 5y. Okay. Any questions just on that part? So our greatest common factor is 5y. Okay. Any questions? Good. Kane said divide by 5y. Let's go. That's our next step. So we have the 5y. Now, technically, before we do that, I'm eliminating some answer choices, right? This doesn't have a 5y on the outside. That's gone. This doesn't have a 5y on the outside. That's gone. Okay, it's looking better and better for me. Okay. Now, okay, I'm going to have a parenthesis here. Now, Kane said, make sure you divide by your GCF. So let me rewrite this as 5y to the third minus 125y. And I'm going to divide by 5y. And whatever I get here when I divide, I'm putting it in here. Okay? So 5 divided by 5 goes to a 1. What's y to the third divided by y? How many y's will I have left over? Put it in the chat. Okay, Alexa says C. 2, y to the second. Beautiful, you guys. Yes, because remember, you subtract the exponents. There's always a 1. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So that's why we get y to the second. Minus, I forgot my division sign. What's 125 divided by 5? Kay said 25. Let's go. Sweetheart said 25. Yes. 25. Now, whenever we have y over y, they cancel out. Anything divided by itself goes to a 1. Okay. Now, Carol was saying, I see something here. Carol said we got difference of squares. Now I see why y'all was saying difference of squares. Up here, we did not have a difference of squares. Here we have a difference of squares. Does everybody understand? We did not have a difference of squares up here first. Does everybody understand that? Hey, Jacinda. Hello, hon. Hope you had a great weekend. Oh, thank you, Jacinda, for getting your heart me. Oh, Just Clean said I was ahead of myself. I love it. Okay, good. Okay, so now this is a difference of squares. So let's go to 2 parentheses. Remember, difference of squares, you always have a plus and a minus. And as soon as we really see that, you guys, that it has to be a plus and a minus, C is the only answer that has a plus and a minus. This has double plus. This has double plus. So we could say y times y. And then what times itself gets you 25? 5 times 5. And you always have to drop down your greatest common factor in front. Oh, I've been surviving these cold -degree weathers. That's what I've been doing. I finally had to leave my house. And when I tell you, Jacinda, when that -4 degree weather hit my lip, I said, oh no, I have to go back in and get some. I had to Vaseline my whole face up because, man, I felt like an instant crack. It felt like. That's how cold it is. Okay, so, yes, this will be on my YouTube. I will be posting it over there. Impact Math 19. It usually takes me a day or two. Those who really know, a day or two to get it up. Because then I got to download it, do all the stuff. It's been cold out here too. Oh, okay. Yes. So follow me over there. Again, tonight, I'm going to be doing ASVAB math at 7 Central Time. Thank you so much for hanging with me today, you guys. I'm pretty much tapped out. So I'm gonna give myself a little break before I get into this. But this will what we'll be doing tomorrow. If God says the same, okay? Tomorrow, we're gonna be doing rational and exponents at 1 o'clock Central Time every day. Bye, my loves. Thank you. Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow. Oh, thank you. Stay at home. I will be getting it. Thank you.